So how to find so the depth of neutral axis is an important calculation in the problems. So you observe this one, how I'm able to get it. So what I have done is force, this is called as force equilibrium condition. To find the neutral axis depth xu, I'm going to use what is called as basic strength of material equation, force equilibrium condition. It means, as you know that a couple is resisting the bending moment. A couple means two equal and opposite forces acting on a body having same magnitudes. Cu and Tu are having same magnitudes. It means Cu must be equal to Tu to form a couple. Otherwise, couple cannot be formed. If the two forces are not equal, they will not form a couple. So now observe here. What exactly is this one? You observe here. This is the basics of here RCC it is. Now finally, what I will prove here is my final objective here is observe. My final objective is I have to prove this one. This is a formula I'll be using to calculate the depth of neutral axis for RCC beams. Ultimately, I'm going to prove this one. How I'm doing it? Observe here. Just observe this, how it is done. So I'll start with this diagram. Just see here. Just observe. I'll just do like this. So now I'll draw one line here. Observe here. And I'll draw one more like this is, I'll call it as total tension. That is total tension produced in the steel rods, compression produced in the compression zone, Cu and Tu. Now what is important here is how to find this Tu. How do you find total tension? Again you go back to strength of materials. You know that stress is equal to load by area. Load is equal to stress into area. Load is equal to force is equal to stress into area. From basic strength of material, I'm going to use this one. Now I'm going to simply use, now the external bending moment is resisted by a couple formed by the beam like this. Now the question, one question here is, just observe. My question is, how much will be this height? How much is this height? Because see, Cu must act through the centroid of this entire stress block. That is why centroid is calculated. Observe here. Why I have done, why this exercise was done, why this was required. This entire thing was required because I wanted to find out where this total compression will act. The total compression will act through the centroid of the entire stress block. That is why centroid of the entire stress block is calculated. Just observe this. So Cu, this is y bar actually. Y bar is whatever is there. No, y bar is this. What is this y bar? Centroid of the entire stress block. How I got it? Y bar is equal to A1 Y1 plus A2 Y2 by A1 plus A2. In this way, I am able to find y bar, which is equal to 0.42 XU. 0.42 times XU. You observe here. So my question was, how much is this? It is 0.42 XU. Okay, any doubt in this? This will be 0.42 XU because total compression must act through the centroid of the entire stress block, and total tension must act through the centroid of steel rods. Okay. Now, how to find what is TU equal to? From your strength of material knowledge, you should tell me total tension is equal to, use this simple formula I am telling you, stress is equal to by area. So P is equal to what? P is equal to stress into area. So TU is a force. So force in the steel rods is equal to, what is that? Stress in the steel rods. How much is that? 0.87 Fy. I cannot use Fy because in the limit state I cannot use it. I have to divide this by this Fy by partial safety factor, which is 1.15. So 1 divided by 1.15 is, as I told you, 0.87 Fy. So this is stress into area. Area is what? Area of steel rods. So this is what is TU. Okay. Now I'll show here. Observe this. Any questions here? Say, very simple strength of material formula is used. This part is stress, this part is area. So P is equal to stress into area. Like this part is stress, this is area of steel rods. If there are 4 bars of 12 mm, 4 into 5 by 4, 12 square, that is AST. If Fy is given as 415, you substitute 415 here. If it is 250, substitute 250. That's what I am doing. Now this formula, where it comes here, carefully observe this one. This derivation, it is here. That is this side, this side. Just observe. 0.87 Fy into AST is TU. Total tension produced in the steel rods is this. Now total compression resisted by the concrete, which is above the neutral axis. Above the neutral axis, because concrete below the neutral axis is not considered. Okay. Now how to get it? This is stress. Again the same formula. Again same formula is used. Cu is equal to, observe this, Cu equal to, again a stress into area. What are the stress into areas for this? So stress is equal to, observe this, stress is 0.36 FCK. Already I told you where I got it. 0.36 is what? Where is 0.36?
XU.
It is here, K1. So observe here, observe this one. Now, as you know that total force is equal to stress into area. So stress is, what I will do here, 0.36 FCK. I'll write it. This is stress part. Then I have to write area. Area of compression zone. How much is that? What is the area of compression zone here? Just observe. What is area of compression zone? Tell me.
XU.
No. What is the area of compression zone in this part? Just observe here. I'll show you that one. Just observe this. This is the area of compression zone, isn't it? Cross-sectional area of compression, because only concrete in this zone is considered. How much is this? What is the area of this? It is XU into B. Can you not understand the area of a rectangle? How much is this? What is the area of this rectangle? This is compression zone area, because above the neutral axis, as I told you, compression zone is there. B into XU. Now I'll go to that page. Now I'll go to this page. it means Cu is equal to stress, which is 0.36 FCK into area of compression zone, which is B into XU. Okay, any questions here? Now observe this. 0.36 FCK is stress into area, B into XU. B into XU is the compression zone area when you see the cross section of the beam. That is this part. Whatever this one is there, no, colored, that is B into XU because that much is compression zone. Now observe here. Cu and Tu I have explained. Since these two must be equal, then only a couple is formed. So Cu is 0.36 FCK. So total compression force is equal to stress in concrete plus area of compression zone. 0.36 FCK into BXU is, this is the area, this is the stress, so it is compressive force. This is the area of steel rods, AST. Stress in steel rods is 0.87 Fy, so stress into area is total tension. Simply you separate XY on one side, send remaining on the other side, you will get the standard equation. Again, this formula is available in the code book. No need to remember this also. You don't have to remember this. Equation 3, I'll show you where it is. Once these problems are solved, I'll open codebook pages. Wherever these are there, I'll show that. Okay. So now what I have done, total compression must be equal to total tension. From this one, XU is taken on LHS. Means remaining you send it that side. 0.36 FCK B has come here. Now this is what we call it as. This is how you should find the depth of neutral axis. So if you substitute all these values for a given problem, you can locate the neutral axis from the top. If I have given you the value of Fy as 415 and let us say 4 bars of 10 mm are there, you can find the AST. FCK, if I have given M20 concrete, it will be 20. If I have given width as 250 mm, substitute it here, you will get XU. So that will give you where is the neutral axis from the top. Now next this one simplification is this one. See here. What I will do here is I will divide both sides by D. I want some calculation. I want AST by BD. Since AST by BD I want. This term is defined later on. I want that one. That is why divide this side by D, this side by D. So XU by D is equal to this entire thing divided by D. So D has come here now. Okay, XU by D here. This entire thing by D has come here. D here also there, here also. Now what I will do, XU by D, LHS, I'll keep it as it is. I'll separate AST by BD. Just observe this. AST by BD is separated. Just in this formula only I'll show it. See this. This part is AST by BD. It is taken this side, remaining as it is 0.87 Fy into divided by 0.36 FCK. Is it clear this one? 0.87 Fy it is. This is nothing. So divided by 0.36 FCK. Now what I will do is I'll define one more term. One more term is defined. Percentage of reinforcement is given by percentage of reinforcement. That means area of steel rods divided by area of concrete. Means it is not area of concrete, it is area of a cross section actually. Area of concrete means we can say like that only, but simply we can write area of the entire beam only up to depth D. Now observe, steel area divided by overall concrete area B into D into 100 is giving you percentage reinforcement. Simply it is area of steel rods divided by area of concrete into 100. So this is equation number 5. This will be useful while solving the problem. That time I'll discuss this one. Remember PT is AST divided by BD. AST is area of steel rods, BD is B into D. d into small d. Capital D is different, small d is different. You will come to know that one into 100. So this is how I have simplified it. Usually this derivation they don't ask, but finally try to remember PT is equal to AST by BD into 100. Next one. This is D. Actually, after B I have written this as D. It means I have to see C now. After C only I'll come back to this. C is here. In that way only you should write. I will send these notes. In your notes you make this change. C is somewhere, D is appeared first actually, but you have to understand like that. You must write A, B, C. B is over C. Now what is the XU limit? Now there is one thing that you should understand, whether steel is going to fail first or concrete fails first. If I start increasing the bending moment, whether steel is going to give up first or concrete will fail first, or both will fail at a time. Okay, try to understand. The question is, since two materials are involved here, if I keep on increasing the bending moment till it fails, my interest is to know whether steel has failed first or concrete or both at a time. All three cases are there. It may so happen that if the steel rods are very less in number, steel will fail. If steel rods are more in number, concrete will fail. Sometimes sometimes what happens, there may be a possibility wherein both will fail at a time. So when both are failing at a time, that time I have to find out what is depth of neutral axis. It means I have to find out a neutral axis depth when both materials are failing at a time. That is limiting depth of neutral axis. Carefully observe this one. It is not difficult. It is just question of similar triangles. Nothing much is there. But this is very important derivation again. All this derivation is again there in the code. Final expressions are there. Now observe here. Now limiting depth of neutral axis, XU limit. Once again understand, I am trying to find out the depth of neutral axis when both the materials have failed simultaneously. Then later on I will go to, if the steel fails earlier, what will be the XU? If concrete fails earlier, what will be the value of XU? That is later. Presently you concentrate on when both materials have failed at a time. Now you draw this figure, see this. All this already explained. 0.0035. Here in place of XU, I have written XU limit. 2KL19 CV426 has raised the hand. Any doubt? CV426. See, am I clear? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now observe here. Now my question is, what is XU limit? XU limit is the depth of neutral axis for balanced section. Means when both the materials are failing at a time, how I should find the depth of neutral axis. Now what I have done, I have written XU limit 0.0035, here ESU. Now I can write like this entire thing in the calculation, I'll write ESU. ESU means ultimate strain in steel rods, ESU. ECU, in place of 0.0035, I can write ECU, ultimate strain in concrete top fiber, that is ECU. Now from strain diagram, see this, it is a similar triangle, ESU by ECU, that is ESU divided by ECU. Base by base is equal to altitude by altitude, D minus XU limit. So where is D minus XU limit is here? Just observe this. this is how much? What is this height? This height is how much? How much is this height? Whatever green I have shown, how much is that? It is, what is the height of this triangle? Altitude of this triangle, d minus xu limit. D minus xu limit will give you altitude of this triangle. Okay, now observe here. So here ESU, that is this base, divided by ECU equal to altitude, that is this d minus xu limit. This is altitude of this triangle divided by xu limit. Xu limit is altitude of this triangle. So this is similar triangle as I told you. Then you go to you just simplify d minus xu limit minus 1, you put it like this. Minus 1 is taken this side. This will become ESU by ECU plus 1. Minus 1 becomes plus 1. D by xu limit remains as it is. Then you simplify this side. ESU plus you multiply, cross multiply, that is ECU divided by ECU is equal to this side is as it is. Now from this one I'm going to use I'm going to reverse it, because I want xu by d, not d by xu. So right now I got RHS d by xu, but I want xu by d, xu limit by d. So I will reverse this also, this side also. That is why whatever this is there, no, reverse of this, xu limit by d. So xu limit by d is equal to this by this. So ECU by ESU plus EC. So this is what is done. Now you substitute the actual whatever in the triangle, whatever is shown, no, these numbers 0.0035 this and all for ESU and ECU. Now I have substituted here. Just observe xu limit by d equal to ECU 0.0035 plus ESU, which is strain in steel rods, 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0 inelastic strain, elastic plus inelastic. So this entire thing is ESU. So 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002. This entire thing is ESU plus again 0.0035 because ECU is there again here. So this is what is called as XU limit by D is equal to this. Now from this one I can find the XU limit if D is given to me. That I'll show you in the problem only now. Try to remember this. So now what I will do here is I need to check whether this is over or what. Okay. So this is what is this. Now you should add all this. For example, 0.0035 you keep as it is. You add these two. That is, you add these two. Okay, you add these two. Then you simplify. That I'll show you that one. See this. I have reached here. Just observe. Now what I have done, observe here. The same formula I am using if Fe250 steel rods are used. This grade of steel is used. What is happening to XU limit by D? Observe here. So XU limit by D is equal to 0.0035 0.87 into 250. In place of Fy, since I am using Fe250 grade steel, then divided by ES, 2 into 10 raised to 5 elasticity, plus this one. Now what is this? What is this one? What is this 0.0055? What is this? This is nothing but I have added 0.002 plus 0.0035. Okay, this is I have added those two as I told you in the previous slide. You must add those two. I am adding 0.002 plus 0.0035. If I add them, I will get this. Now you can see RHS is having all specific numbers. You just simplify using calculator, it will be 0.53. a very important conclusion we have reached here. Observe this. The conclusion that we have reached here is 0.53. What it is? What it is exactly? XU limit by D is equal to 0.53 if this steel is used. If I use mild steel rods, which is Fe250, if I use mild steel rods, XU limit by D will be 0.53. Now, if I use Fe415, what will happen? If I use this one, what I should do? Here you just substitute 415. That's all. If you want to use it, which is commonly used is these two. Less common is 250. More common is Fe500. Little bit is 415. Practically, I'm telling. Practically, Fe500 is widely used nowadays. In textbooks, they have used 415 in all the textbooks. But you have to be perfect in using both. So what is the change you are observing here is, now that is what I have done. Similarly, you can say, similarly, XU limit by D is 0.48. 0.48. See this. 0.48 if 415 steel is used. It means same formula. In place of 250, I am using 415 here. If you put 415 here, the ratio of XU limit by D will be 0.48. If you use 500 steel rods, again in place of 250, it will be 500. Substitute 500, you end up with this number, 0.46. So what it means here is, try to remember, this table is there in the code book. See, this is there. For 250, 0.53. For 415, 0.48. For Fe500, 0.46. Which are three calculations. One is here, one more is here, one more is here. What I am doing is simply XU limit by D is LHS. In RHS, I am just changing these values, 250, 415 and 500. I am getting three different values of XU limit by D. How it is useful, you will come to know here. Any questions are there? Now the next derivation is E here, means whether D or E, it is not going to make, because this is already, now you are familiar with this. This table is there in the code book. Later I'll tell you the table page number. I'll open the code book and I'll show you this. It means you don't have to remember anything again. This table is there in the code book. While solving the problem, I'll open this page. But you should know how these values have come. So let us go to next one. Once they have asked in the question paper, show that PT limit is 0.96 for M20 concrete. PT limit means percentage steel in a beam in which both steel and concrete will fail at a time. Now you have to be careful here. What is PT limit? Again, you are running out of time, and I think tomorrow only now I'll finish it off. 9 minutes are there. Now, what is PT? AST by BD into 100. I already told you. PT is AST by BD into 100. What is PT limit? PT limit is the percentage steel required, in which case both steel and concrete will fail at a time. So how much steel I should provide in a beam so that both concrete and steel will fail at a time. Now what I have done, observe here, simple thing it is. Again, this equation I have already given. XU by D is equal to AST by BD into this. Here what I will do, the question is prove that PT limit is 0.96 for M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. This derivation they have asked in the exam. You start with this formula here. XU by D is equal to AST by BD into 0.87 Fy by 0.3 Ck. This is B part, B derivation. Now here what I will do is XU by D, I'll directly substitute as 0.48. You look at this. Why I'm substituting this one is, you look at this 0.48. You look at this one here. Why I'm doing like that? So XU by D equal to 0.48. Why I have done? Because when you use M20 concrete, Fe415U steel and all that, for Fe415U steel, the ratio of XU by D is 0.48, which I have derived it here. Now here what I will do, XU by D, this LHS I am going to write 0.48. Try to understand why I am writing 0.48. The reason is, for Fe415U steel, XU by D will be 0.48 for a balanced section. For a balanced section. Now I'll write it. Now see here, this equation I'll start. I'll write 0.48. I'll keep AST by BD as it is here. I'll substitute all these values. 0.87, since Fy is 415, this is 415. 0.36, they have given FCK should be M20. So 20. Now entire thing what you should do, AST by BD on one side, remaining on other side you send it. Okay, try this one later on. So you will get PT limit is equal to 0.96. So what is PT AST by BD into 100? So you will get a 0.96. You are going to get PT limit as 0.96. Just observe this. Still, if there is a confusion, you look at this one. So what I have done, 0.48 is written AST by BD. This is written PT by 100. Are you understanding what I am telling? AST by BD is PT by 100, because PT is equal to AST by BD into 100. So AST by BD is equal to PT by 100. So this is PT by 100. Only I have changed PT to PT limit. Okay. So you have to start from the basics. PT is equal to AST by BD into 100. Are you getting this point? PT is equal to AST by BD into 100. So AST by BD is PT divided by 100, which is here. PT by, you can say this one. How I got this one is, I know that AST by BD into 100 is equal to PT. So PT by 100. So I have changed AST by BD with PT limit by 100. Remaining values are as it is. So from this one, you separate PT limit. Remaining all numbers, you multiply them, simplify them, you end up with 0.96. PT limit is equal to 0.96 if M20 and Fe415 steel rods are used. Is it clear, this one? Similarly, if I give you M20 and Fe250, what will happen here? If the derivation what he says, show that PT limit is equal to some other number for M20 and Fe250. So Fe250 means XU by D value will be different. See here. For Fe250, XU by D is 0.53. It means I have to change this number by 0.5. The rest all is same. Wherever 415 is there, you substitute 250 because M20 is given once again. So what are the changes that you should make here? Observe here. Observe this one. You have to change this number. If 250 is used, it will be 0.53. So I have to use 0.53 here. Then I have to use 250 here. Once I do that, I will get 1.76. That is what I have showed here. PT limit, how I got 1.76? I used 0.53 here, and I used 250 here, and I calculated same way. I ended up with 1.76. This one is it is not visible actually in this, but in the notes it is there. But anyway, if I use M25 and Fe415, how to find PT limit? First of all, I'll show you, only 3 minutes are left. I will show you this, this number is not clear here. I'll try to show it as 1.19. PT limit here, here it is 1.19. So what I should do for this now? For M25 Fe415, what I should do? I'll just cover this one and I'll stop it. Now, in the examination, if they ask, show that PT limit for M25 and Fe415 steel, M25 concrete and Fe415 steel is 1.19. Prove this one. Prove this one. It means what you will do here? Same formula. XU by D will change now. What is XU by D? It is 415. Again, I will use 0.48. Okay. I'll use 0.48 because he says it is 415 only. Just for understanding, I have given this one. So what I will do, since 415 is given, this number remains as it is. But since it is 25, in place of 20 here, I have to put here 25. That's all. So if it is M25 Fe415, you have to see XU by D from this. Now, can you solve this problem if I say like this? For M25 and Fe500, you try this. You give me the value of PT limit. Later on, you just try. Then only it means you have understood this one. Now, if I say use, only 1 minute is left. M25 Fe500. For this one, you give me PT limit. Quickly observe here. M25 means I'll use in place of 25. Wherever 415 is written here, I'll use 500. But this ratio I have to change. The ratio will not be 0.48, it will be 0.46. It means XU by D is 0.46. Here it is 500. Here it is 25. Rest all is same. You end up with this number. So this is the end of today's discussion here. You end up with 1.1. So PT limit, all this you will understand when I solve problems. Right now, still PT limit may not be clear to you. Only try to understand how I am calculating, how it is used in the problem. I'll show you that one. Right now, you just focus on how I am calculating these values. So I have calculated PT limit for various combinations. M20, Fe415, M20, Fe250, M25, Fe415, this is calculated. The procedure remains same. You have to be careful with this. You have to be careful with this table. This table becomes important. How this table is used in this calculation, you understand. So you try this one. M25, Fe500, give me the value of PT limit. So let us end this one. So I'll close this session. Any doubts are there, you can ask in the next class or in WhatsApp also you can ask.